talk about
What we talking about?
how we first got into drag racing. That's what we're gonna have a discussion about while we sitting here cleaning these head studs. So, like I was, how I first got into the mechanics because my dad is a mechanic and he always had me helping him fix on cars. And when I got with this young man behind me, he was a mechanic also. And he first started off the car that I remember. He had a 74 Nova. And he used to race that on the back streets, Candlestick,
San Francisco.
San Francisco. And then I had bought a 67 Camaro that didn't have a engine in it. Did it have a transmission? No engine, no transmission. And he started racing that. He took the motor from the 74 Nova and put it in that 67 Camaro, which was a small block 350. And so he was racing that on the back street, and then he started going to Wednesday nights up in Sonoma. I really wasn't able to go because of my work schedule, but him and the kids, they were able to go. And what made you start going to the track?
So the reason I got into going to the track doing the Wednesday night drag events, because we was out street racing, illegal street racing all over San Francisco. And we would run until the cops showed or whatever. But it would be so many people out there back in the day. And we was racing everything, small block, big blocks, and that's where me and Bodie and Gate and Terray and Gerald and Bookman and Mordell, like all of us would be down there just racing. And it didn't matter. We would race from a dead stop. We'd go from a roll. I mean, like everything people see on Street Outlaws today, that's exactly what we was doing over 20 years ago, right? That ain't brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And, a few of them high-speed chases will definitely make you start thinking about, risk, endangerment of others. A couple people went to jail for spectating, and it just wasn't the right thing to be doing. Found out they had a local track where we could race at Sonoma, because Fremont Drag Strip had closed down by that point, and so just started going out there. And we would take our cars out on Wednesday night, and we would drag and have fun and go back to the city. But then, as with anything, you start going a certain speed, you trying to go faster. So then we had bought, I bought that 68.
Yeah, 68 Camaro, and I believe that had a 496 or a 565.
I had a 496. I bought that from Bodie. He had a blue one, and the car had been like a 10-second car for the longest, and I messed around there without even touching the motor, just tuned it up and went out there, and after a few passes went 9 seconds with it. I remember that day. I think we still got that on video somewhere. We was all out there on January 1st of all day. But yeah, we ran 9s with that car. Then I freshened up the motor. Jim did that down at Carl Sullivan's shop. We freshened up the motor, got that thing right, and I think I took that was a 3,000 pound car, and back then, with a little shot of nitrous, I think I sprayed 150 shot. I went 920 or something, so that was cool.
But how did we start going to Sacramento? Because
Bodie and them had already been going. See, Bodie, Adrian, all them cats, they was going up there. I didn't know. I'm slow to the game.
We had a family and we were doing different things.
Yeah, doing different stuff. But as far as the track went, they was already up there. But when I bought that car from Bodie, I think he had told me about Sac, and between him and Malik, they the ones that told me about SAC, and we all started going up there.
Remember the first time we tried to find it?
First time I found it, I think we was driving a half hour past it. We way out there going to Jackson. We passed the track up. We're supposed to be turning on Excelsior. It was a little sign, race cars passing us up going the other way, and I'm telling myself, oh, they got to be going in the wrong direction. They don't know where they're going. Here I am going the wrong direction. I'm going into the foothills of the Sierra, and supposed to be at the racetrack. But we eventually got there, and made that pretty much our home track until I got that 81 from Sam Blaylock.
Yeah, and you started off that one with the 565 in there, right?
Nope, I had that. What did I put in there? I think I put a 540. I had that 540 in there, and then I punched it out to a 565 eventually. And that started off, it was just an 830 car. But just upgrades, nitrous, tuning. I got that car to run. Where did I go? 7.0? I think I was going 701 at 199 with the best way I went with that 565.
Oh, okay.
Yep, with that 565.
701?
701, Sacramento.
Okay.
Couldn't get it in the sixes.
Yeah, we tried hard.
Tried hard with that motor. Couldn't get it in the sixes. But, single system, one fogger, 36 jet, and, 2,500 pound car. It did good.
Yeah, we raced that for a long time.
Long time.
Had a lot of fun in that, with that car. Eventually, you went up in size and motor.
Went up in size and motor. Bought a motor that had none but problems. But hey, you live, you learn. Went through those blues. Ran a couple good numbers with it. I went in the sixes with that car and that motor combination. Went 675 at 205 at Sonoma.
We end up having to put a big wing on that because once you had went up with that bigger motor, it started wanting wheelie all the time.
Yeah, it was just all out of control. But crazy enough, it's a dude named Rocky Harold or Harmon back east who's still currently running that car with the wing on it, and the stickers that I put on there still on there, and kicking everybody ass on small tire outlaw racing. So that just shows that you don't have to have some badass brand new big old chassis to race these cars. The tubes and the chassis don't know how old it is. There ain't no age on the suspension. Now obviously I upgraded it, put some strange struts and different stuff on there, but that was just to make the car more efficient for me. But the dude running that car ain't no problem. It was originally a pro stock car back in '81 with a small block, and he running on twin turbo right now. But yeah, it's still fast, and the car's still running today, from 1981 to now.
We follow each other on TikTok. Hey.
But also, with that car, we ran Pinks All Out, and won the Pinks All Out, the Quick 8.
Yeah, I won the Quick 8 Pinks All Out. That was back in 2010 with that car. That car, it was pretty successful. I won the Governor's Cup with that in Sacramento. Won Pinks All Out. Won a bunch of races. Once I got it all kind of figured out and dialed in. And again, it just goes to show if you on top of your maintenance program, you can make any car out here work. It ain't got to be. It's nice to have well-built chassis, but it's some dudes building stuff out their garage that really can get it done.
And then from there, you sold that car and you bought a Cameo truck. What year was that? I can't remember.
That was a 57 Cameo pickup.
Okay.
I bought that off Dan Myers and ran that for a few events.
Actually, we only ran that for one event.
That was only one event?
Just one event.
In Bakersfield.
And that was back in 2013.
Was that 2013?
2013.
Yeah. Back in 2013, we put that thing together and we ran the Hot Rod Reunion with that car. We qualified for the show, and I was able to race Joe Lapone Joe Lapone Jr. in the first round. And anybody that know Joe Lapone know Joe's always talking some crap. He gonna try to beat you with that clutch car. He was running the Duster at the time, and for me to I think I put a trip zip on the light. I left Joe so far, he didn't know what to do, and got the round win. But after that event, that was it. I think I came home and I said, I'm selling everything and I'm moving out of San Francisco. And I packed up and just sold everything. I didn't care. I just was moving.
Yes.
Matter of fact, yeah, I think we sold that truck,
and
sold the motor. No, we kept the motor.
You kept the motor,
Sold
the
the
truck
truck
to some guy in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I think he made it a show truck. And then we stopped racing. We didn't race again until 2019 when you
Brought that Pro Mod Camaro.
bought the 70
The
and a
spaceship.
half 70 and a half split bumper Camaro.
Nobody likes those, but that was when I first saw that 70 split bumper Camaro. Rod Pierce had one out here, and it was one of the first ones I had ever seen. It was a silver with black rally stripes, Mathis built Pro Mod. And when I saw that car, I was like, I gotta have one of them. I'm gonna get one. And it was my cousin who passed away, Jeremy. That was his favorite street car. He liked those 70 Camaros. So
how did you find that car?
online, found it from Clyde Scott down there in Texas at Extreme Raceway Park. Flew down there one day with some money in my hand and said, let's do it. And flew back home.
In the same day.
Same day. Flew down, checked it out, pack it up, let's go. And he brought it up here actually for me. He had his team bring it up. That was cool.
Yeah. And so we
ran that. Hey, you know me, a race car, right? Ran that for what? 2 events?
Yeah, we did some testing in it.
And then I went to the Streetcar Super Nationals in 2019, where I probably had one of the nastiest crashes that ever happened at that track with that car. It was a pickle car, which was good. It was insured, which was good. It kept me protected, which was good. And
yeah, and when he had that crash, I cried the whole way home. It was a very, very traumatic time, experience seeing him crash that on his roof.
Yeah, but
good thing. Good, but
what'd you say? So what we gonna get next?
I said that.
Yeah. I mean, it took a minute because that's I haven't experienced that, and I didn't know, in the ambulance, right? Some things had occurred, and
what happened in the ambulance?
Well, you was sitting there, because first you didn't want to go to the hospital, and I guess they said I forgot what they said to you.
No, that lady said if you don't want to go to the hospital, she said sign that waiver. Sign this waiver releasing all liability. And I said, no, we ain't releasing no liabilities. So, yeah, you better take me to the hospital.
Yeah, so we were in a track ambulance, and they only take you out to the main street, and then you have to wait for the regular ambulance to come in and transport them to the hospital. And when we was in there, I was talking to him, and then he passed out. So that just really messed me up. I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. He was talking, and then I start rolling to the back of his head, and he just passed out. So yeah, that messed me up for a while. But good thing he had insurance on that car. He was looking for a minute to get something else, but things occurred, and he decided to wait a bit.
I was looking for, literally after I crashed that car, I figured within 2 weeks, I found the car that I got right now.
But hold on, let's not jump there yet.
I think. Or was I? No, I was looking for a while.
You were looking for a while, and Bickle had told you, because you was looking to have that car redone, to fix it first, and you had to send all that that car back to Bickle back. Is he back east?
Yeah, in Missouri. I sent it back there.
Yeah, and once he told you that no, it really wasn't worth the money to fix it, then that's when you started looking for another car. And that was still back in we into 2000 because we did the race in November 2019, the street car.
So that was in 2020.
2020 when you
Found that other car.
no, when you sent the car back.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was the end, like December, but once you got it back there and he, finally had a time to look at it and everything. But you were looking, you didn't actually get this new car until that was just 2022.
Yeah, but I identified that car online and had been communicating with the owner for some 2 years. So it was 2020 when I found that car, because in 22 I picked it up. So yeah, once I got that car,
Well, I mean, because you didn't.
But in between there, you know what? In between there, I was communicating with him, and we would only communicate off and on. But in between that, we was out running with Bodie the No Prep King stuff.
Yeah, we did a.
Driving Sam car too.
Yeah, we did a lot of on the road helping him out. And
Yeah, I
then,
did that for 20. When did I do that? 21.
During
20,
COVID.
No, all during COVID. So 20, 21, and 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, between the Nova and his son's car and the new car. Yep.
And
absolutely.
also helping out Sam Baylock.
Yep. Helped
You
Sam for a
drove
while.
that. And yeah, so
Drove for Sam for a while.
then you and a guy finally came to a price that you agreed on. You flew back, you checked it out, flew to Florida, checked it out, and you liked it. You paid the guy, but it was a hassle with the first transportation, trying to get it back here. What happened with that?
Nothing. Went online and booked a transport company. They said they were supposed to be there at the parking lot. Me and the owner, we sitting there waiting. They don't show up. And I'm like, man, I done already paid this dude this money for this car. And this is where good people, good energy, honest people really pay off. People say what they want about different races and ethnicities in this country. Racism is, I don't really think it's just, everybody got their own opinions. Mm-hmm. It's good people and it's bad people in all nationalities. That's what it is, right? You can base it off race. They can base their badness off whatever they want. But me and the dude James, we down there, can't find. We waiting on the dude. He can't find us, and ultimately the car ended up having to stay in Florida for another week and a half, 2 weeks, at this dude's house after I didn't already pay him his money. It's sitting there. They could literally do whatever, and there's no pink slips on car. But he kept it secured for me at the place. The other transport came, and the guy was another good dude.
Yeah, very nice.
Met me in Vegas. I picked it up in Vegas. He met me there.
We had to pick it up in Vegas because with the restrictions
he
in
didn't
California.
He didn't want to drive in California with his truck because he have all the DEF deletes and everything. Outside of California, the truck regs is different. So yeah, he brought it, and we just raced the car, checked everything out. It was everything that it was supposed to be. So it's really just a blessing car. And so for me, ran it 22.
Well, when we wait, you're moving a little too fast. You're moving a little too fast.
That's the story.
But when you got the car, you went through it. We, like you said, we went to Vegas. We picked it up, came on back, and you went through it. And we did our first testing up in Sonoma, which went okay. We had one little issue.
We
had a little issue. Pulling the car. The golf cart was acting weird. Pulling the car, and the pull cable, came off and scratched the front of the car a little bit.
Tell all the stories, huh?
Well, if we have
But I mean, it was just. I mean, we was working out all of the bugs. We was working
Yeah.
out crew bugs. We was working out car bugs. But we ultimately got it figured out. So it wasn't
until
no
we
big deal.
went up to Bodie's first race up in Sacramento that we were going to go race, and we went in for the testing and the tuning, and you found a problem with the
Fuel
fuel.
system. Yeah, I had fuel system problems. But you know, you get a car sitting for 10 years, you're gonna have some problem.
So we had the lines were all clogged up, and you decided that because we was gonna stay up there, and said nope, we bringing the car back home. You send me to what's the name of that? Tognotti's to get some fuel lines, and then we came on home and you changed all the lines out, and then we went back up and we raced, and we got out that Saturday, but we still had fun. And you ran a few other events. We ran the NHRA Nationals, and first time having that car out there. And you want to tell your story on that?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
It was our first race at Sonoma with that car, Top Sportsman. And just the car was on the rail. I was dialed in. The car was dialed in. It was my birthday weekend. Just all the stars, moons, and everything lined up. Didn't get the win, but got the win. You know, got best appearing car. Was runner up of the event. You know, I went trip zip at least once that weekend. Every other light had to be 015 or better. The car was doing what it was supposed to do. Final round, I was way out on this dude. I was so far out. I had him, and right at the top end, had ignition problem. And it started, it almost acted like it was on the rev limiter, but it wasn't. It was like the car was cutting on and off and on and off, and just, you know, gave it away. Those are Top Sportsman racers. They good racers, and so you got to have your stuff together when you're going up against them. And, you know, ended up taking a runner-up, which was good for a first national event outing. That was my first national event NHRA competition ever, so that was cool. It was a great weekend.
Yeah.
Came back the next year and lost first round. How about that, right? But went on to win the National Open with that car.
Yes. We won it in comp.
Top comp, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, when I won that National Open, that will go over there with the header studs. When I won that National Open, I raced dragsters the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And so that was, you know, one thing about it, people say, oh, door cars can't be dragsters because they put that wheel out there in front of you. Just run your lane, don't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that. It was cool. Just run.
And so yeah, but he had more success with that car than any other car that we had.
Quick success.
Yes, quick success. Right. And then let's roll into 2023. Back in September, I believe that was.
No, it was August.
August, okay. Well, I know she'd been wanting to race for a while, even before that, way before that, and I was always against it because I wanted to race, and my mom was against me racing, and she had a child, and I just didn't feel that it was safe for her to drive because I was just always concerned about my granddaughter and her being around for my granddaughter if anything happened. Then I had a health issue back in 2021, and after that, I told her, well, you know, if you want to drive, you know, life is short, you know, do what you need to do. And my husband said, oh, should we send her to school? I'm like, you know what? Forget, just do it. Yeah, just go ahead and send her on to school.
What they don't know is I was about to pay for my own self to go and get my license and come back.
Well, I want my money. I need my refund.
Yeah, so, and, you know, right before she went to the school, we was up in Sacramento and doing a test and tune. My husband let her drive, and she did so well. It was like, man, we shouldn't have paid for her to go to that school. We should have just did it like this.
No.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But it
That's
was
how mine
good,
felt.
but it was good that she did go to school because it taught her things in class. A few of the things that she could learn to help her be successful on the track.
If that's the story you're telling.
That's the story I'm telling, and
That's
I'm
from
sticking
her
to.
perspective.
Yeah.
From her
Now, what's your perspective?
Well, she didn't run the car, and
I didn't run it fully.
we didn't
no.
fully run that car up there in August.
No, you
She
told me
went in
to.
August. The school was in September.
But you told me to only go to
Yeah, I told
the
you
60
just.
foot.
I told you take it to the 60 foot on the first one. You did that, and then I told you take it to 200 feet out, and you did that. I was like, just do a burnout and get comfortable.
But she did well with that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. She did well with
So
the
I just
burnout
wanted
and-
to see if she can handle the car before I spent the money for her to go to school. So then it was like, okay, yeah, let's send her to the school so we can, continue with that.
We
learning.
already had paid for the school.
Well, I could have got a refund.
No, you
I
couldn't
want a
have. It was
refund
already
now.
too late.
Matter of fact, I should have took the class then.
It was already too late for the refund by then, but because I think like the next week we left to go to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
No, we went to the family reunion first, and then we went to Vegas. It was
Okay.
after that.
Okay, well, 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks after, and she took that class. And you want to tell your story about that class and how was it for you?
Went to Frank Holly Drag Racing School, and it was a great experience. Even though we got the professional back here that could have taught me, but it's okay. It's okay.
I didn't want you to learn no bad habits yet.
Well, I guess I'm about to learn them now. But I enjoyed it. Frank Holly was a great teacher. He taught me where I need to be at on the track, when to pop the parachutes, how to launch, when to turn off, who go first, and it was just a good experience. I liked that. I enjoyed it. I recommend anybody who wants to go drag racing to go if you don't have an already professional drag racing dad or grandpa or anybody, whoever, go to the school.
Yeah, so after that, she got in the car and took over and started racing.
Well, how fast did she go into school? What was that, 9?
Yeah, it was only 9:30. No.
Or 9:40?
9:30?
9:30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or was it 9:80?
I thought it was 9. No, it had to be 9, faster than 9:30. It had to be like 9:40, 9:30.
So
Something like
9:30s.
Yeah.
I think I'm faster than like 9:36.
All right.
Okay. And so then, yeah, she took over and
Well, I think, matter of fact, as soon as we got out of Frank Holly's, like the next weekend, we was racing. We was in a race.
yeah, he put her in a race.
I'm like, you know what? You want to race? Let's go.
Yeah.
So we jumped right into, was that a Top Sportsman? No, that was a heritage race
Yeah.
up in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Next weekend after that, it was another race. We went to that race. We went to every race. All the way went to the
But let's hold on.
California Hot Rod Reunion.
But
We
with
went
the
everywhere.
heritage race, we had to, because what box do you run originally?
Oh, the heritage race. I
No.
run the grid, but I had to
He
pull the
runs
grid
the
out.
grid, and when she did the testing with the grid, she did very well. So when we went out for the heritage race, we had to switch the box to a
7AL3.
okay. So I was correct, 7AL3, but
And the
when we
box
got to
I
the-
had shorted out, so the box was bad. Didn't have a box. I'm
had
trying to get a box. Nobody has a box. New box is $1,100. I call up Brett Pitchler, who was at the track that day. He had a 7AL2, and I spent the next 2 hours trying to rewire the car for an AL2 box after pulling the grid out.
and we had nothing. The car just did
didn't
not
like
like it
It
at
didn't
all.
like
And
didn't
you
like
want to tell your story on how you felt about that?
I was frustrated. That's all I gotta say. I was frustrated, but we figured it out. At least we tried.
Yeah, we tried the car. She had to manually switch it into gear, and it didn't want to go into the gear. It kept popping out. But you said it wasn't because of that. It was something else that happened.
I don't know what the hell happened. I was frustrated. It was hot.
We got
You
Fleet
had-
Week going on.
You had meetings. It was just
It was-
a lot
it was
going
a
on.
lot going on that weekend, but we competed.
Yes.
And the main point was that she was in the lanes with another car. It didn't matter if we won. I didn't care if we went to the first round. I mean, when the car ran good that weekend, we did bust off a 781 run. That was your first 7-second pass after coming from the school. So you go from 9-second run at Frank Holly. The next weekend you run at 7s. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Right? So that was cool. And then, we swapped back to the grid
Mm-hmm.
and then just start
Racing
rolling.
that, and then we, like you said, we went down to the hot rod
We had to
reunion.
switch the box
We had to
out
switch the
again.
box again.
Switched the box out again. This time, I was smart. I put the 7AL3. I bought a brand new one
Yeah.
from Summit. So I put the 7AL3 box in,
And
get down to Bakersfield, go to fire the car. I got no spark. Brand new box. I'm like, what the heck? Now this is down, frustrated. It is hot. We down there, flies everywhere, whatever.
Dust.
Dust everywhere. And I'm like, man, I got this problem. So what do? Take a look. Oh, I didn't shorted out this box. I just can't win but lose it. Anyway, I'm like,
Well,
all right, go buy another box.
yeah,
I went and bought another box, another $1,100 on another 7AL3. Put that box in. Boom, fire right up. Okay, now we ready to go. We didn't already miss one qualifying session, so now we got to get in. So we get in the show. I think it was 2 qualifying sessions that you was able to make it on.
Yeah.
We in the show, I get, based off her first run, I'm thinking we need to step it up a little bit. Not knowing, because I didn't get the data for whatever reason. I don't know if we didn't hit the record button or what, so I couldn't get the data. I think I'm running too slow because she ran like a 767. So I'm like, all right, well, let me give it a degree or two of timing and tune this thing up a little bit to run closer to the 760 index. We go down there, she run a 759 with a 7, and we back to our number 7 or 8 spot, wherever we were, even lower where we was at. I'm like, God, dog, missed it by a little bit. But it was fine, we competed, went out there, first round. Was that first round when we lost? No, that was a second test run.
No, we got our first round.
Yeah, we got our first round, so you had to run.
But we were supposed to run that blown 57.
Yeah.
That was a qualifying pass?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was called the second qualifying pass. On that second qualifying pass, we fire the car, go
I
run up
thought you
there.
got into second round.
No.
No, I got in the first round.
Okay.
Got out, but that second qualifying, the car, I think, went out on me.
Yeah, we had the blower had the issue, and then we got up there and the car
wouldn't start.
He run over one of the officials. We shut down, seeing what's going on. They back us up. The car won't start. I'm like, God, dog, here we go again with this ignition box. And so got the car running, and it ran. It did what it was going to do. And then got back home that next weekend, and there was another bracket race, and we went to that race. I mean, we raced every event there was a race. We went to it for the remainder of 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to all of them.
And she got her first win and runner-up.
Yeah.
In one weekend.
Yep. Yeah, it was 2 races. That's what
that was the last Sacramento race.
The last Sacramento
Yeah.
race. So the good thing is you was able to get a trophy. You raced at the Governor's Cup.
And I was number 1 qualifier.
And you was number 1. Would you go 60 with a 1?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you went 760 with a 1 on that one. So that was cool.
Yeah, and to get to run a hot rod reunion and be in front of a large scale of people, and be able to compete with the best out there. I think that was really good. Slept on a tree.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yeah. If she wouldn't have slept on a tree, she would have gave. Who are you racing? Who was that?
Well, she raced Mozzie.
Yeah, she would have gave him hell of a run. So.
At the hot rod?
Yeah, you was racing Mozzie.
But the car was tripping too, because it only went 8 seconds.
Because again, the car do not like that box for some reason. It loves the grid. It does damn well with the grid, but for some reason, it does not like that ignition box. And this year, she's getting ready for a 2024 season. She want that nitrous.
Yeah, I do.
So she just got to learn, about the purging, but I'm pretty sure with her dad in her ear and with our headsets.
Literally.
Yeah, he'll be telling her, make sure you purge, make sure you turn off the burn-on switch, make sure you do this. Okay, Brandon, let's go. But
that's what it been.
Until I go fishing. Once I go fishing, because that's what I did on my last one.
But
that's how I cut the light.
Yeah, but the car, it was originally a nitrous motor anyway, so the car really liked the nitrous. It did very well when he put the nitrous on it and ran it at one race.
And that was only 150 shot.
Mm-hmm.
With 150 shot, we went from running a 480 to the eighth to running a 460 to the eighth on 150 shot. I mean, it picked up in the 60. We went down to 103 60 foot with that little single carbureted car and a little plate system. So, I mean, it's a lot of potential there. And I didn't know the engine at the time. We got it torn apart now, but I didn't know what was in it, like how it was set up and everything. So now we'll have better information. We're getting the cam reground, S&S doing the machine work. That's why we're getting the head studs ready to hone. We'll take that stuff down there tomorrow, get Rick and Dave to hone the block. So we'll be good. We'll get it together. Bob Worth's over there putting some new titanium valves and doing some port work to the heads, and so everything's going to work a little bit more efficient. I'm looking at, based on what I saw in the numbers and the way that motor looked when I tore it down, I know we got a good amount of power left in it, from the way I was running it. So I was running it conservative again because I didn't know what it was. And they had it set up where, it was just basically designed to run a heavy 400 or 500 shot of nitrous. So it's ready to go. I mean, we're gonna make some power. That thing, I guarantee you this, without a doubt, she'll run sixes this year.
Wow, that's what she would like to do.
That's with a plate system. It's gonna run sixes. Just with what we got. Ain't gotta do not much more.
Yeah. So how you feel not being behind the wheel and being behind a car and being able to see your car perform?
Well, actually, it's better. I can drive anything. I mean, you put me behind a big wheel, you put me behind a bass boat, a race boat, a truck, a car, I don't care, train, I'll drive it all. I'm a driver, that's what I do. So it's really nothing. I like suspension, tuning, adjustments, making stuff efficient. For that car with a 615 single carburetor, that thing leaving the way it leave, I mean, she'll average a 106 60 foot without even messing with it. The car just works. And so when she turned that nitrous on, the plan is sub 1 second, 60 foot, and 6 second quarter mile run. That's just what the plan is, and we'll get there. But it makes it easier to tune. I can watch the car and make whatever adjustments I need to make. I ain't got to worry about another owner's car. When you're dealing with somebody else's car, you limited on what you can do because you ain't the one spending the money. So at the end of the day, call my own shots, and I can show them better than I can tell them. So just put numbers up, put wins, rack up the wins, and keep on going. All I know is this: they better not let her get to a point where she driving and cutting lights as good as me, because they can pretty much wrap it up as far as competition, because she drives way better than I do. I'm telling you, like, I didn't see a lot of good drivers, natural drivers. The only other person that I can say is as good as she is Bodie Jr., because I watched him drive and I know what he can do with a good car and a bad car. So like that, what people that I know, I would say Bodie Jr. and her, just naturally talented drivers. And so, yeah, she gonna bust their ass. I feel sorry for them. I tell them, y'all ain't, they want me to get back. They would want me to get back in the car. They might have a chance. With her, man, come on. And how you explain that going back to the hood? How you explain that you just got whooped by Mike Henry's daughter? Golly, that's bad. So somebody gonna get it. So even though it's winter time, and like all animals do,
Hibernate,
stack up they nuts during the summer for the winter, And I hope they putting their money together, get their chips right, meet me on the starting line, and let's let it do what it do. We ain't scared. I'm telling you, she been practicing all winter long. We got on that practice tree for an hour the other day, and I'd have to say she was right there with me.
Okay.
You know, yeah, she was right there with me. It was damn near 50-50 split on who was winning. But average reaction times got way down there from where she first started. She was a 1 second player. Hell, I was in the car saying, go, go, go. I got light, it's already green. And so, you know, just.
But I mean, she's a new driver. I mean, you've been doing this for many years, so.
No, and so that's why I didn't want to train her. I wanted Frank to train her, to teach her the right way. And then I'm gonna give her all these tricks of the trade, you know, of how to drive. Because it's, you know, a lot of it is mental games, you know, and it ain't mental games against the other driver. You playing games with yourself. And, you know, people don't even know the power of the mind. One eye blink can cost you a race. So, you know, for me, I never breathe and I never blink when I'm getting ready to let that button go. It's like you get ready to take a shot with a sniper. You know, you don't breathe.
So do you get nervous when she's in the car and getting ready to go up?
Nope.
Well, I get nervous, but it's not the same as I got nervous with him when he was doing it. It's a different type of weird feeling. I don't know. But once she does the burnout, just like when he raced, all the nerves go away. So, yeah, she was asking me this yesterday. Do I get very nervous when she drives? Just like when my granddaughter does barrel racing, I get the same feeling with her on that horse. And once she get to going, then I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's get this done and over with. So, yeah.
I don't get nervous. And maybe the rain, I don't know. 1, she's a good driver. 2, she got a good car. Yeah. 3, she listens to my instructions when I'm telling her to do things. I mean, I could tell her take it to 300 feet out and she'll click it right at 300 feet. I'll tell her if the car move any, lift, and she'll lift, right? And so she hasn't developed any of them bad habits of trying to drive or overdrive the car, right? And so, you know, those are the things that you need to know as a driver. So she's picking it up fast.
And I can agree with number 2. That is a very safe car. I think that's the safest car we done ever had.
Well, I mean, it goes straight, but, you know, we do our part, right? Making sure that it's got all the safety equipment that is required and some that ain't. Like, you know, adding in over the winter, we did her own pouring seat. We flew Mark with DSP seat inserts, had him come out from Canada. He flew in, did a couple cars. Mine was one of them. Poured actually 2 seats, one for her, one for me, to make her more comfortable. What did I do? Oh, we picked her up a different style seat belt that helps her be more comfortable in the car with the Hans device on. You know, just making things work a little better for her, keeping her safe. I think that's, you know, important for all of us. I went as far as having Mark pour me some leg padding around the double frame rail portion of the car. So in the event of any kind of incident, you know, her legs would be protected around that roll cage padding around that roll bar, that double frame rail. I mean, it's similar. Basically, just set it up like a Pro Mod. Set it up like a Pro Mod. Put everything on there that a Pro Mod should have, and you know, you'll be all right. If you exceed the safety requirements, you good. If you don't even meet the safety requirements, and I didn't see people go out there running cars with outdated seat belts, no seat belts, no Hans devices, no neck braces, no gloves on, no pants on, Wrong suit for the wrong application.
Holes in the shoes.
Holes in shoes. I mean, you name it, I've seen it, and the mentality is, it'll be all right. Well, it ain't. It's all right till it ain't. Until you find yourself in one of them situations like Mike Murillo had that nasty crash and fire on the No Prep Kings. You get guys like Robin Roberts who had issues. Just this last season, they had Brad B-Rad crash at one of the races in Texas. And when you see these drivers that have issues and can't get out the car or suffer massive injuries, you start investing money in areas where it's important. So if I sacrifice a little ET because I couldn't spend the money on, bigger motor or something, but I spent it on safety, then shit, I'm good with the safety. That's the way I see it. Safety first, because at the end of the day, I don't care if you racing for $100,000 a race. You can't put a price tag on broken bones and brain damage or broken spine or broken back. I mean, this is really just fun. It's supposed to be fun. It ain't supposed to be hard work. It's supposed to be something you do with your family that's enjoyable. If it ain't enjoyable, I'll sell all this shit. This is the way I see it, right? And I'm not going out there to slave on no car, and I ain't going out there to argue and not have fun with some crew or something. So that's why we just keep it us.
Yeah. And so you have it from D&M Racing. We raced the illicit 68 Firebird. And let's go 2024.
Oh, yeah.